And welcome to Angie's Tasty Tuesday, brought to you by Transition Nutrition and Fitness Coaching. I'm Angie, and I'm here almost every Tuesday to bring you a new and delicious whole food plant-based recipe that you can incorporate into your family's weekly menu. During the holidays, I like to have snacks other than bowls of candy that I can set out that are healthy to munch on and give you that little bit of a sweetness that satisfies that little treat that you want to have, maybe in between meals or before meals or even during the day. One of the things I really like to have on hand are apple chips. Now, I realize not everybody's going to have a food dehydrator, and I've gone through a couple of different styles in the past. I had the round ones, and the apples took about 3 days to dehydrate, and you had to use lemon juice, and it was a mess to clean. So I found a new dehydrator that I really like. It's by Excalibur, and that's the one I'll be using for today's video. These chips don't need any lemon juice. All you need are apples and cinnamon, and about 8 hours for them to dehydrate. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is wash and dry your apples, because we will be leaving the skins on for this. Next, I take an OXO corer and I go right down through the middle of the apple to get the core out. And if you're off a little bit, off center, or if the core isn't quite straight, don't worry, you can always make another little pass down through the middle to get that extra little bit of core out. Today I'm going to start with 3 apples. Normally my dehydrator will hold between 5 and 6 apples if I put it completely full. But for today's video I'm just going to do 3 instead of 5 to speed up the process a little bit of showing you how to do it. So for this you're going to need some kind of a corer and a mandolin and a food dehydrator. Like I said, I've experimented with several different food dehydrators, and the one that I have found that works the absolute best and gives the best results every time is the Excalibur. And I will show you this. I get nothing in return for this. I am not sponsored by Excalibur, but this food dehydrator has the capacity of 5 shelves, and it only takes about 8 to 10 hours to make your apple chips or your pear chips or your dehydrated pineapple. I dehydrate all kinds of fruit, and it is so delicious. The sugar concentrates, it is so much better than store-bought and a lot more economical. So this will be the dehydrator that I'm using today, and I set it between 135 and 140, and honestly it only takes about 8 hours for the chips to be done. So I've got my apples cored. Next I'm going to take and put on my cut-proof glove, because if you don't do this you really are risking your knuckles. And my mandolin is set at a little bit thicker than 1/8 of an inch. When they dehydrate they do thin down considerably, so you want to start off with them a little bit thicker than 1/8 of an inch so that you get a nice chip consistency. Then you simply take your apples and run them down the mandolin. When you get, they do get a little slippery. That's why, especially for apples, I will wear my glove because you can't always determine exactly how much slippage you're going to get. The apples are very juicy. My favorite apple to use for this is a Fuji. They're a little tartar, but they do sweeten up nicely, and they're usually on sale. So after you have your apples sliced, you're simply going to arrange them on one of the dehydrator trays. I do have the dehydrator reusable silicone sheets. This makes cleanup so much easier. I've used these ever since I got my dehydrator. I've been using it for at least 3 years. So once you just wipe them off with a dry paper towel and you're ready to go for the next time. Or if they get a little sticky, you can wash them down with some sudsy water and rinse them off. You're going to arrange your apple slices right on your dehydrator mat. And like I said, usually it takes about 1.5 apples to fill up the tray. I'm going to go ahead and slice up the rest of these apples. And then you're simply going to sprinkle them with a little bit of Ceylon cinnamon, and we'll get them dehydrating pretty quickly. But the one thing you want to make sure is that you don't get any seeds in it, because the seeds, I mean, you can pick them out when they're dry, but if you get the husks and the seeds in them, it does make them a little harder to eat. You kind of have to watch for that little husky part or the seed pouch part. But again, you're just going to take those rings and lay them out on the sheets. And I tell you, these don't last very long at my house because we go through them pretty quickly. And then when you're done, I save my cinnamon shakers and I refill them from the economy size bag. And you're just going to sprinkle with a little bit of cinnamon. Makes your house smell so wonderful when you're dehydrating the apples. You simply pop off the cover of the dehydrator. I'm going to take, these are the ones I just finished that I'll show you what they look like. Pop it in the shelf, set it for 140, and forget about it for about 8 hours. This is how they come out. They're on the sheet, they peel them right up off the silicone sheet, and you want to store them in an airtight container. Nice and crisp. You can make them a little thicker if you like them thicker, but they do take a little longer to dehydrate. So we're going to get some together and be right back. When they come out, you want to make sure you put them in an airtight container. I like to use the mason jars or an old jar that has a big lid that you can get them out of easily. They make a great Christmas gift, a little stocking stuffer for someone. They go awesome with the pumpkin pie hummus from episode 45 and any other kind of a fruit dip that you may like to have. I hope your family enjoys these as much as we do, and until next time, if you want to see more videos, remember you can find them here and here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget, plants are the best medicine.